What is up, YouTube? Today we're going to be going over everyone's favorite game mode, Ranked Conquest. And more importantly, how the heck you win Ranked Conquest games from support. If you watch me stream, you probably notice that I win a lot of games. So I'm here to tell you 5 big tips to improve your game and your chances of winning ranked games. So first off, support as a role is supposed to support the team, as the name says. You are a support in 2 big ways. Buff and peel for your teammates, or kill the enemy, dive the enemy, press the enemy back for space for your carries. So with that in mind, let's get into tip number 1. Tip number 1 is going to be pressure reigns supreme. Playing early game supports and trying to snowball the duo lane is just the best way that you can win ranked games at a lower level. Games aren't going to last very long at all, so just being able to pressure out and play these early game gods like Artio, Kuzenbo, Yemoja, Ymir, and most of the good warrior supports are just going to be the best things you can do. Only 2 ways ranked games really play out. They play out with 1, just a 10-minute stomp, one of the teams surrenders, gives up, or 2, it's going to be a 30-minute game, and 1 fight is just going to dictate who's going to win it. And at that point, it doesn't matter who you're going to be playing. It's mostly up to the carries to win you that ranked game. Play for the early game, pressure out. All you got to do is be safe for the jungler, ward up, keep your carry safe, and just pressure that 2v2. Pressure their purple buffs, pressure their reds. Tip number 2 is going to be find a duo. So I know this one is a little bit different because it's not something that you can entirely do yourself. You have to find a teammate that wants to play with you or some other player that is willing to grind ranked with you. But support is not really meant to carry ranked games or to hard carry ranked games, but you still kind of can. But getting a teammate to queue with literally any role will just make ranked a lot better and a lot easier to win. Having a backliner that you can just peel for and reliably do objectives or just deal damage, or a jungler who can just help you with the early game, snowballing, ganking, pressuring buffs, or a soul laner who can just zone well without going too ham and just absolutely inting. Any role will help if you're duoed with them. Just get in comms, call what you're looking to do, call for objectives, have them zone, whatever they got to do. That is the next best thing that you can do. Just find a duo. Tip number 3 is going to be map awareness. This is pretty large for any role, but it is especially big for support because support kind of looks over every other role in the game. You're kind of keeping track of where your solo is, where your jungle is, where your ADC is, where your mid is, and you're kind of keeping like all their movement and all their abilities and ultimates in the back of your head because you're the setup for your squishies. You're the dive potentially with your solo and your jungle. You do basically everything, whatever your team needs you to do. So you kind of always want to know where everyone on your team is. You need to know when to dive, when to peel, when to hold an ability, and so forth. Geb Shield, Ymir walls, Khepri 2's massive game-changing abilities, and you need to know when you should use them, and map awareness will help a lot with that. Many of these things can be fixed if you just move your map to the middle of the screen and then just make it more opacity, whatever it is. You just got to make it so you can see through it and then just move it more towards the middle of your screen. That'll just help a ton. You won't have to look all the way to the top right-hand corner to see your map anymore. It'll be bigger, so you can kind of see everything a lot better, and in team fights you won't have to look away for half a second off your screen to look at your map. So just move your map closer to the middle of your screen. Tip number 4, knowing your build and knowing your pathing. Do not waste time in base not knowing what to build. Low-level players will waste up to 10 seconds just sitting in base thinking about what to build. When it comes to support, you don't have a lot of guaranteed farm anyway, so time spent in base and time spent pathing to get to farm is going to be very, very important. You kind of also need to know where to split the farm. You don't want to split all from mid because you don't want your mid laner to fall a ton behind. You don't want to split only from solo or only from ADC or only from jungle because you don't want those specific roles to fall behind. What you want to do is you want to stay in the duo lane for at least 4 or 5 levels. Get your boots online, get your mobility online. Do not rush Thebes. I'm saying it here now. Do not rush Thebes. Movement speed is way, way, way too important in Smite and in jungle and support specifically, where you cannot risk going Thebes. Thebes is a better item that's just, you stand around, you're not going to be doing much really. You're just going to be a giant tank, and there really is no tank in Smite. You just kind of get blown up. So movement speed is very, very important. Get your boots online, and then you can start to rotate. Past the early game, you can either stay in duo, you can pressure for their purple buffs, you can pressure for their red buffs, you can either double jungle with your jungler, run around with him, you can help peel for your mid if it's something that needs peel like a Zeus or an Alpwash or a Ra or something. Just do not build Thebes, build your boots, get around the map, and use the movement speed to your advantage. You can go anywhere on the map that you want. You can pressure soul lane if you want to. You can pressure blue buffs. Just do not steal farm from one area. Tip number 5, objectives win games. Think about it back in a ranked game when scores like 45, 45, 35 minutes into the game. Phoenixes are still up, and your ADC is just running it down dual lane, just looking for some kills. Everyone on your team is brainless. Just think of it like that. You gotta control the cattle. You gotta tell them where to go. If you want to go for a Gold Fury, call it. If you want to go for a Fire Giant, call it. You are there to dictate the game at a low level because no one else is going to want to, or no one else is going to. So just any call will be better than no call. An okay call to go for fire or go for gold or to go for mid tower, any sort of call is better than no call. Let your ADC know to go gold. Ping your mid laner, tell him ultimate is ready, VVVR. Tell him to ult, just get your team ready to do these objectives. It'll just be simple things that will make your team seem more coordinated. And if you're in comms and if everyone on your team is in comms, it's a lot easier to do, but you can still do it with VGS. So tell him ultimate is ready, tell him just ult at like 1k or whatever. He should know when to ult, obviously, but tell him when to ult to secure the objective. A lot of teams are just going to scramble to get there, or the jungler's just going to run in an int, or the support's just going to run in an int, and then you can just kill them. But just make a call and just do it. That'll win you a lot of low-level games because nobody's going to be doing anything, and the best thing to do is just to do something. That is just 5 tips to try to help you traverse through the impossible land of low MMR conquest. Hopefully this video helps you guys. Sub and like if you're not already subbed. Like the video. If you like the video, let me know in the comments and let me know if you want to see some more of these tip videos or other types of videos. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you.